The Sony 24mm 1.4 G Master lens is one of the smallest, compact, optically amazing lenses that I've ever had the opportunity to use. Today we're gonna find out whether or not this is worth adding to the roster of the online content creators lens catalog. What's up everyone, I'm the Everyday Dad, and if I can figure it out, you can figure it out. I never really ever cover lenses that much here because generally I'm a kit lens and a cheap prime lens kind of person. But Sony reached out to me and they let me borrow this lens for the last 2 weeks, and I've used it in just about every single video in that time frame. Actually, I've got to give this back tomorrow, and I really don't want to. Like, it's gonna break my heart to give this darn thing back. Bottom line of the video up front, this lens is incredible. It's small, has a fantastic build quality. The video continuous autofocus works great on both full frame and crop bodies. It's razor sharp and has quickly become one of my favorite lenses of all times. It's incredible. We're currently recording on the Sigma 16mm 1.4, which is my normal go-to 24mm equivalent lens. But you know what? Let's actually swap these two out for the rest of the video so you can actually see how the 24mm looks. There we go, look. They're very similar for crop body and full frame body. So again, Sigma 16mm 1.4, Sony 24mm 1.4 G Master. It's gonna be really tough not to stare at the monitor this whole time because I love how this looks. So in an effort to really break down how this lens works and what it can do for you, we're gonna do a mini version of my normal camera comparisons. So first up, image quality. This lens produces a beautiful image. It's plenty wide for both narrative video work, but even if you wanted to use this as a vlogging lens, it would be great. One of the issues you would run into when using it in a handheld capacity though is the lens itself has no stabilization built into it. So if you were using this with an A6400 or A6300, you would need to be careful of handshake and you would need a faster shutter speed for your photos. Look, we even mentioned a photography aspect. Man, I feel like we're growing up here as a channel. We're all growing together. My personal favorite focal length is 50mm. I think it provides that more natural look, plus gives the ability for enough background compression to make videos just look great. But the 24mm on the G Master here is something that I've really enjoyed. And it's something that, no kidding, I've really taken to. You might have noticed that all of my narrative videos since getting this lens have really turned into the wider shot that you're seeing here, which I really like. Like, this is what our narrative will be from now on. I like having a lot more things. I like having space. I like having room for more activities. When you have a wider lens, it does become more difficult to get a shallower depth of field, but this comes with a 1.4 aperture, which gives you not only a nice wide field of view, but can work well both in low light, but also if you want a nice blurry background, you can easily achieve that. Like, look, there's my iMac. It's super blurry. For some context, the light that is currently illuminating me is the Godox SL60W, which is a powerful one-chip LED light that I currently have it set to as low as possible. And we're probably getting really close to needing to put an ND filter on this lens indoors in low light. We're at ISO 100. We got it set to as low as possible, and it's still like perfectly bright enough. I mean, this lens is a beast. For the online content creator though, it's not only important to have a beautiful image with lots of bokeh and razor sharp depth of field, because most of us are solo crews that spend our time in front of the camera. So autofocus is a pretty big deal. And the 24mm GM has Sony's newest autofocus technology, which is a direct drive supersonic motor. I don't know what all of that means. I just know that it works really darn well. I've used this with both my A7 III and my A6400 and have had very little autofocus problems. It's super silent and just works. And that's, I mean, seriously, that's about as high a praise as you can really give to a lens. I mean, what else do you really need? Good image quality, good autofocus that just works. I mean, come on. One problem you can run into with lenses is they will have autofocus noise, which can be picked up by either internal microphones or camera mounted microphones, and I've yet to hear the internal noise on the 24mm. Let's hop outside really quickly to give a quick vlogging test to show you both the image quality and the autofocus capabilities. See you out there.
Now, I've never really done a lens review before, but I really wanted to, I like this lens so much, I really wanted to bring it out and do a vlogging test just to show you that I really do think that the 24mm G Master 1.4 lens might be one of the best, if not the best vlogging lenses like ever. It's really expensive. It is a prime lens, so you're not gonna be able to necessarily zoom in as you're going around, but it's super lightweight. The autofocus is lightning fast, and it just works. The image quality is beautiful. We have it set to 1.4 right now, and we do have an ND filter on it, like cranked all the way, because it is 1.4. Like we mentioned, indoors sometimes I have to put ND on it. Inside, with my light set to the lowest setting, so the sun, like, yeah, the sun will have some issues with it. But yeah, the autofocus on this thing is great. The image quality is great. The width is almost perfect for like being able to see everything that's around you. We're currently on the a7 III, so this is in fact 24 millimeters. We're filming in 24 frames per second, so there's no crop on the lens itself. This is about as straight of a 24 millimeter video lens as you're gonna see. Here, let's set it down for a second so I can, also we're setting it down because I am just sick of holding up big cameras. If you've seen the videos all week, I've been carrying around these big cameras like a lot. My shoulder should be like ready to go. But yeah, the image quality, the autofocus, like, can you see the autofocus on this lens? I can't. Again, it's an a7 III without a monitor, so I can't actually tell if I'm in focus or not. Please don't make a fool out of me, a7 III. But I've been using this thing for about 2 weeks now. I got to send it back in a few days, which is going to break my heart. But the image quality is great. The autofocus is great. It does not have stabilization, but man, what a good lens. And I get to mess around with it a little more if I make this vlogging test. So yeah, back to the video. We're gonna go inside, talk a little bit more about the construction and all other great things about the 24mm G Master lens. See you there.
And we're back. Something that matters to me a lot about lenses, especially because I consider them to be a bigger investment than even the camera body itself. These things come and go all the time, but the lenses are what are most important. That's lens construction, and this lens is probably the best built lens I've ever held. It's fully metal, has a very, very smooth focus pull. Also built into the body of the lens is an aperture adjustment ring, which, as a big nod to the video world, with just a flick of a switch, it can be set to declicked movement, which is important if you're trying to like change your aperture, but you don't want to hear click, 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 click. There is also a button on the side that can be customized to your preferred Sony option. I mean, it's just fantastically laid out and constructed. Honestly, up until about 6 months ago, I never really concerned myself with lenses that much. I used a 28mm f2 lens on my a7 III, or the 25mm 1.7 lens on the GH5, and that was basically all I needed. But I really think Sony is gonna force me to start looking at nice glass of all stripes, because I'm darn impressed and I really, really like this lens. If you are using a full frame Sony camera, I would highly, highly recommend it. If you're using an APS-C body, it's also great, but I'd recommend the Sigma 16mm 1.4, as it would actually be the 24mm equivalent prime, and it costs like a fraction of the price. This is $400, this is what, $1,400. So if you have a crop body, get this one. Heck, I guess you could even get this one for the full frame body and save some money, but trust me, the 24mm is so good. Thanks for watching.